Hi, everybody. My name is Mark Schlemme. I'm the VP of Marketing for Screen Americas. Welcome and thank you for attending our case study. I do want to get right into it, but there are so many new names at the summit this year with the new expanded and virtual format that I wanted to take just a few minutes to introduce you to Screen. While Screen as a brand traces its roots in the graphic arts and printing industry back to more than 100 years, our business in the last 50 years has really diversified. You can see a few of those businesses listed here, but what I think is most important for you to take away are the core technologies these businesses are built upon: surface processing, direct imaging, and image processing. Whether our technology is manufacturing semiconductor chip stacks for IBM or flat panel touchscreen displays for Samsung and Apple, or high-speed inkjet engines for companies all over the globe just like yours, it's advances in these core technologies that are leveraged across all our business units. The principles are the same regardless of the product: robust engineering, best-in-class uptime, precision imaging, and the lowest total cost of ownership. We are a global business, publicly traded, and as you can see, with just 8% of our global workforce in sales and marketing, we're committed to our customers by committing our resources to R&D and manufacturing expertise. And it's no different for us here with Screen Americas, where we've focused our business solely on inkjet since 2006. We have come a long way since those early days of pioneering continuous feed inkjet here in the US. And I think some of the data points I've listed here help to tell a story of success. But what's most exciting for us is that there's more to come. The pipeline for new markets and new applications is very exciting. So let's get right to the case studies. Our goal with these case studies are to let our customers speak for themselves. These are truly leaders and innovators in your industries and markets: commercial print, publishing, direct mail, transactional print. If you're in the middle of evaluating continuous feed inkjet solutions and you're talking to Screen, then I'd like you to come away from these case studies feeling like you're in good company. If you're not talking to Screen, then my hope is that you'd ask yourself, why wouldn't I? Either way, I do believe there's always something to learn from those who have blazed the trail ahead of us. If you need to get in touch with anyone at Screen during the summit, send me a message in the chat system. And with that, I thank you and I turn you over to our most powerful marketing message, our Screen customers.
Hello, my name is Bruce Jacobson. I'm the Vice President of Bridgeport National Bindery, located in Agawam, Massachusetts. I've worked here for many years and it began as a worker in a library bindery. So we specialized in hardcover book binding. About the beginning of the 1990s, when the digital books began to be printed by various printers, we started to be able to use our library binding skills, which allowed us to do small quantities of single books, to hardcover bind material that was presented to us by printers so that they could get small quantities of hardcover books for sale for their publisher customers. These quantities were generally between 25 and 50 or 75 copies of a title. For us, it was long run because we were used to handling single books. But for the printers and publishers, it was a new day dawning. We did that for about 10 years, and then in around 2003, as the runs became shorter and shorter, it became less profitable for our customers to send us books and covers for us to manufacture. And they invited us to begin putting in a digital press of our own, which we did. And we were able in about 2003 to begin printing using digital technology. At that point, it was sheet-fed presses, black and white, and we did that for a few years and the business grew. In about 2006, we put in a color press, an Indigo, HP Indigo, and we're able to begin doing color work as well and do a better job on printing our covers. We've always done small quantities of books down to a single copy. Most of the printing that we started out with was sheet-fed presses, But this didn't allow us to be as efficient with the printing, as cost effective with the printing. It didn't allow us to provide the value to our customers that we needed to provide. It also was not as fast in the production as we would like it to be. So we started looking around and put in an inkjet press in about 2013 to continue doing small quantities of books with a finishing system attached to the press that allowed us to get book blocks out, move them directly to the binding equipment that we used. Now, we've always wanted to have equipment that was as flexible as possible, even if it wasn't as fast as possible, as far as binding is concerned. We have a lot of equipment that is self-centering, self-adjusting to whatever books that we're binding at the time, both hardcover and softcover. We started out as a hardcover bindery, so we still do a large percentage of our work as hardcover books. But we do a far greater percentage of work as paperbacks. So we had to get systems that were as flexible as possible to handle the output from our inkjet presses. The business continued to grow, and we needed to look at how we could increase our capacity. We started evaluating the inkjet suppliers that were for the equipment that was available at the time, and we started looking at exactly what it was that we would need to be able to do the work more efficiently and faster. Of course, by this time, the presses had improved tremendously over what they had originally been. All of the equipment produced better quality, better appearing books, and produced them quicker. And we thought that there were a lot of good choices. One of the things that we found, though, was as we went through and visited with various people, that the offerings did the same thing. They all printed well, they all worked well, and they all were able to be attached to finishing equipment that would allow us to be efficient in our production. We settled on screen as far as the press that we would choose because of a number of factors. First, when we met with them, what we felt was that they understood what we were trying to accomplish as we were looking at the next steps to increase our inkjet capacity. Not just with the press itself, but with the software and with the attachments to the finishing equipment that would allow us to be as effective and as flexible as possible, because that's what we need to produce the books that we're producing. One of the things that we appreciate is equipment that's flexible. We tend not to run equipment just exactly the way that the engineers designed it to run. Our needs are a little bit different from what most people look for. And when we talked with Screen particularly about the help they could give us with software, their vision for what we were trying to accomplish matched what we were trying to do. And since we have had the machine installed, they have been helpful in getting us to a point where we can do things that we had dreamed about being able to do previously. The machine itself prints very well, very good, doing a very good job at high speeds, so that the color work that we're producing is coming out at the same speed as the monochrome work that we're producing, with the same quality that we expect. What's happening now is we have found out that as time has gone on, we've gotten requests not just to do the book of one, not just to do small quantity, but we've begun to do longer run work as well, which is something that was new to us. But the press has enabled us to handle this worked extremely efficiently and extremely well. Our dream was to be able to print 20,000 books of one instead of one order of 20,000 books. Now we find out that the equipment that we've got is enabling us to do both very efficiently and very well, particularly now as we look to what's going on around us. Companies are more and more, whether they realize it or not, in a custom production environment where you have to be able to handle the needs of your customers no matter what they are, whether they need a large quantity or a small quantity of books. What we've found with the press after its installation is that it has given us three things that we thought were extremely important. It's given us speed of production, it's given us quality of production, and it's given us flexibility in production. And as a result of those three things, it's enabled us to deliver value to our customers.